10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, my bad. Wow.
All hail the Knights of the Gimmick table, where we spit the truth at the infamous round table and your feelings get left at the door. I am Boogaloo. This is LowRyda. And that is the artist formerly known as Kaide, Lothbrok. How you doing, brother? How was your weekend, Mr.
Good, man. Good. Staying busy. Working the territories, traveling up and down the highways and byways.
Anything good happen?
Did a hardcore match for a company called Titan Wrestling. Stole the show because that's what I do. But not, just doing my thing, man.
That's the place that Mac was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I ran into Mac. It was Steve Mac and Low Life Louie in an ambulance match. So, that was.
And that didn't steal the show?
Well, I mean, they had blood, but I'm just gonna put myself over because somebody's got to do it.
All right.
I like it. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, man, welcome back, Louie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boss is back.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Hey, also, gonna have the official Kaide and Foxy merchandise coming out soon, so I'll be sending you guys some shirts.
Question: is that official? She's officially out of retirement.
She's officially out of retirement. She's got she's coming, dude. She's already booked it 2 or 3 places with me. We're doing Excite Wrestling. She's debuting next Saturday. She's full time with me at IWA. Everywhere I go, everyone's asking. Like this past Saturday, promoter's like, "Hey, where's Foxy? Why isn't she here?" And she just,
damn, look at that.
Yeah. Look at that, man. That's awesome.
She has risen.
Yeah. brought her back.
I did,
Nice.
and
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's honestly, I told LowRyda last week, man. I hadn't had chemistry with someone like that since Crusher, so it's awesome.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Yagi in the building. What's up, brother?
My man Yagi says, "Hey, I'm totally grateful to this dude. This dude saved my life, man. I was in a bad situation physically, and he saved my life.
Awesome.
Shout out Yagi.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Forever grateful to him.
Good.
All right, man.
But yeah, man, y'all ready to get our guests? Oh well, let's pay some
pay the
bills,
man.
Oh yeah,
bills,
bills,
man.
Yeah, good, Kate.
Yeah,
yeah, you got it. Sleeves, man. Sleeves.com. Hold on, let me pull it. I gotta pull it up here. Sleeves offer great quality products from arm sleeves, knee sleeves, headbands, tights, jogger socks, and even them dirty boxers that Boogaloo loves so much.
Oh, I love them.
I know you do. Also got them Dick sleeves for Mega. But if you or someone in your life is an athlete, then you definitely need to check out Sleeves.com. And don't forget to use the promo code MWAPOD.
That's right. HealthVape.com. HealthVape sells healthy vaping alternatives. All their products have no nicotine, no harmful or addictive chemicals, and they're vitamin infused. So make sure you pick yourself up some of those vape and pod products using our code MWAPOD for that 10% discount.
All right. Hey, I really needed some sleeves. I have a little forearm thing going on, and I got a sleeve. But hey, I'm not gonna promote this. I'll let Brett Favre promote this one. I know.
You got the old man. You got the old man gimmick. Look at that, like the gold gimmick.
I don't know what it's called.
But yeah, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MWA World. Subscribe to us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at MWA Podcast Network. Also, if you're not watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/MWA World. And storefrontier.com/MWA World, where you can get yourself one of these dope ass Knights of the Gimmick table shirts.
Nice. Look at that thing. The thing is fresh.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure y'all go check that out. Hook your boys up, show us that love. But without further ado,
We gotta talk about showing love. Let's get Nick Berk in here.
What? Hey, there he is.
oh man.
What's up?
What's going on, sir?
What's up, Nick Berk?
Chilling.
How you been, man?
I've been good. Been good. I've gotten older, and you guys have too.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. How old are you now, Nick?
I'm going to be 42 in next month. I'm going to be 42, and I didn't get.
That's
I
amazing,
didn't
though,
get-
man. You've looked 42 your whole career.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking awesome.
I know. I've always looked old. Yeah,
I always thought you were older than me.
yeah. Really?
Serious.
There's so many people that I'm finding out in the past few years, like on Facebook and stuff, that I thought were a good 10 years older than me, and then they're younger than me. It's weird, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I was always the old person, I guess, at the shows. Was that me? The old man?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, right.
You were older than me, but I was a kid back then. It's been a long time, huh?
I know. That's at least 10 years, because I really stopped working about 10 years ago.
So you don't work no more at all?
Not really.
Oh, just
No.
sporadically.
It's, maybe if somebody calls me with a really good idea and it's funny and it's for a good cause, then I would. But
Okay.
yeah, I think like my last match was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I don't even know what it was.
I was just about to ask you, like, who'd you work? Who's it for? But
I really have no clue. Yeah, I have no clue.
So you're not officially done, but
I've never
not working currently.
right.
Yeah. I'm with you, man.
But I would say that I always have great ideas. So maybe I would be someone who just gives the ideas to people to go and do. And that's something I'm starting to do. I'm watching like YouTube, and then something new comes to my mind, and then I'll hit up SAT and I'll say, yo, you got to do this. And I'll lay out like,
And then they
the
go,
whole
"Oh
spot
man,
for
that's
them.
great, man. I love you, bro."
Yeah, I love you, bro. You'll see that, bro. Yeah, yes.
jeez.
Man, that's what I miss. I miss everybody impersonating him, them,
Homicide.
Hamas, low key.
Loki.
The first time I ever heard that kid's voice, I thought somebody else was talking. Like it was. He's always had that deep voice, even when I think he was probably 15, 16 when I met him.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I remember the first time I worked you, I was at CZW. My first match at CZW, and you had just come from doing the double shot. You just finished working Loki, and I'm like, they're like, all right, well, Berk's over. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, anything you want to do in particular? He goes, I just work Loki, man. I can't even think.
Yes, bro. I don't think you understand how that match has stayed with me since then. Like, I've never had a match I liked, and I don't have great matches that are main event status. But I don't have fuck up matches. I don't. I had a fuck up match with you, and that was probably the only one I've ever had, and I have always felt so guilty, and it's because somebody doesn't know how to throw elbows and gave me a concussion and
Fucked you up with elbow.
fucked me up. Yeah. If Loki still works like that and people let him go by, then it's the wrestling business just didn't step up. I had no clue how he hit that hard for so long.
People just took it.
Yeah,
But the thing with that is like he knows who he's gonna do it to. He's not gonna do it to everybody.
yeah,
He's
you're
not
probably
gonna
right.
he's not gonna hit D like that. He's not gonna hit me like that.
Yeah.
He's not gonna he's certain people he's just not gonna hit like that. If you don't know, he's gonna try to get over.
So there's also, and here, all right, I don't think I've ever brought this up to anybody ever, but there's like a backstory to that. So that night, I dropped the lightweight title to Loki.
What company was that?
That was
JP.
at
JP?
Jersey Ultra.
Okay.
And that was like the first match of the night. Then I had to go to CZW after.
Right.
I was doing a double shot. I didn't know this, but a call was put into Jersey All Pro saying CZW guys are not doing double shots with Jersey All Pro. Before that, and I wasn't told this, so that's why I dropped the strap, and that's why I was on first, and that's why I was out. And then I don't think I worked for Jersey All Pro since.
Right, because that started the rivalry with them, right?
Yeah, and I had
Oh,
no
shit.
clue about this until a long time later. Johnny Cashmere told me. He said, "Yeah, like that was like you working for them that night was the last time that John allowed that. He put the call in." Because it was messing up his book, whatever it was. And then after that, so since I came back and I was concussioned up and all that, out of my mind, I have no clue why and how I drove there from the arena. Yeah. And so now I'm like, after a while, and Johnny told me that the call was put in before the show to make me drop the strap. I'm kind of thinking that Loki shot on me. I think it was a message he was sending, which I had no clue.
But you want to know something? That's not your fault.
Yeah, it ain't
not
got
at all.
nothing to do with you.
It's never the boy. When promoters make decisions like that, it's never the boys' fault. But the boys are the ones that always take the brunt of the situation.
But I'm wondering if somebody told him to do it. I don't think he would do that himself unless he was told by somebody. There.
What was the beef with JP and CZW? Like, what was the just?
We ran the same nights.
The beef was between Zandig and what's his name, Fat Frank.
Well,
that's personal beef.
So Jersey All Pro was starting to rent the arena too, and the arena was just 20 minutes away from the CZW location in Jersey. And they ran on the same nights. So that was part of it. And then there was also the other part that like they were both doing hardcore in New Jersey. And then
that's right, JP. That's right.
And Governor what was her, Whitman? Governor Whitman, she put like a ban against it, and they were blaming each other on who was the worst that caused, people to see it. But dude, you're both guilty. They're
both guilty. They're always trying to one up each other with this.
Yeah, exactly. They all did some crazy shit back then, man.
Yeah. I have no clue how people do that all the time. And now it's a big thing. Like, Kaide, you've been part of it with the whole companies just for the hardcore.
Yeah, it's
I have
definitely
no clue how.
It's definitely gotten. I mean, it's definitely oversaturated. It's definitely gotten like the bar is ridiculous, man. The stuff that I've seen and like continue to see, it's scary,
Yeah.
But it's I mean, look, GCW built their reputation on it, and I think they've kind of gotten away from it a little bit, not too much. But I mean, when you got a guy like Nick Gage as the face of your company, I guess you're kind of pigeonholed into doing it. But it's definitely, I mean, look at Nicky, dude. I mean, I guess that 5 years, being locked away saved him a little bit. But and I look at a guy like Tremont. Tremont's 33, maybe 34, and he looks like he's older than you. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does age, and
I've heard he's fucked up, right, Tremont? Like,
dude, I have
showing up and shit.
I don't know what's going on, dude. Like, I haven't spoken to him. I don't want to speak ill, but I've heard, I don't know what happened with XPW. I don't know what happened with the WrestleMania weekend, and I have no idea. It's scary. It's weird,
man.
I just wish I wish the best for everybody. I don't want to see nobody get hurt themselves.
And all those crazy ass bumps y'all motherfuckers do, man.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching CCW and like the night that Nick Mondo went through the table from John Zandig off the top. I was there that night, and like those things.
You worked that show?
Yeah, I think it was I was just like a throw on
Here's
match or
what's
something
up, man.
before at some point. But if that was the same night that I think was like around Halloween, then I was acting as Nikki Benz in CZW. If it's the same night that I'm thinking of, but it's just
That was
well,
that was like Mondo's last thing, right? I remember seeing some documentary. He talked about taking that bump, and he was like, "I'm done" or something like that.
I think so.
I
Is
believe.
I think it might have been
Is
him.
that the shit that he did like off the damn building or some
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah, and
That
that was like him
crazy.
saying he was like done, or there's some. It's in his documentary, which is actually really good. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that was
definitely a
the
good watch.
who produced that.
He did.
He did.
He did it,
He's
right?
really
Yeah,
good with
he's
all that
really good.
stuff.
He went to Japan, right?
Yeah, he went to
after-
Japan and was
Yeah,
he works for
he's
AEW.
talented. Yeah, he's
He works for-
talented.
Yeah, he's the
really
AEW
talented.
production guy. I think him and I want to say that guy Giancarlo. Maybe I'm not 100
Yeah,
percent on
he's
that.
very familiar with production because the stuff they did in that. I saw that document, like that little docu piece. That was good.
Yeah, he did all Moxley stuff when Moxley got left WWE. All that promo stuff.
All those vignettes. Yeah,
that was all him and Moxley. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that was nice. So let's rewind, Nick. I need to rewind because I've met you. I guess you were a couple years in when I met you. We need to know where it all started with you.
Okay. Where did it all start? Yeah. All right. So it really started with when I was a kid. That's all I wanted to do is be a wrestler, and I've always wanted to figure out how to go and train, and I had no clue how to do it. I'm talking about like 10 years old. I'm looking for a place to go and learn how to be a pro wrestler. And then so me and my friends, we just always did backyard wrestling as kids. At the age of like 15, we found ECW, which is down in South Philly. And we started going, and then I met Trent Acid and Billy Reel, this guy Joe Costa, Frank Stea.
You guys were all teenagers at this time?
Yeah. We're all like real
what
young.
A damn
15,
crew, man.
16 years old.
Wow.
I think
and
when Trent started, he was like 15 when he went pro, right?
Yeah.
I met him young when he went pro.
He had just had his first match, and they introduced me to the person who hooked them up with the business, which is Angel Amoroso. Angel was from ECW. She was one of the valets back then, and she was a wrestler too.
Missy talked to us about her. Also.
Yeah.
All right.
And she's a great person, and she took me to go start training. I trained at this place called Hawkins Wrestling Gym in I think it's like Fishtown in Philly, Port Richmond area. It's like right off of 95 in Philly, and so I trained there for about 2-3 years. Angel hooked me up with Tom Carter, Reckless Youth.
So who was all training in that facility with you?
All right, so there was two different groups, so to speak. There was the people who got trained by the Hawkins brothers there, the people who owned the gym. And then there's other people who came there, paid a mat fee, and got trained by, like I would get trained by Reckless Youth, Don Montoya, Mike Keener. They would be my main people who were training me. And then
so hold on,
Reno would come in and train us.
You said Mike Keener.
Yeah,
was he working back then, or was he a referee?
Yeah. He was a referee, and he was Kid America back then, and a referee. He was both. Yeah.
He's wow. I only knew him as a ref.
Really good. Just very simple, basic worker with he had a mask gimmick with.
So you said it was him, a Reckless Youth, Don Montoya. Who else now?
Then we would have people like New Jack would come in, and Carino would come in. And dude, New Jack. Now I don't like the dude at all. God rest his soul, but still, he knew how to really wrestle too. That's the thing. He taught me arm drags and hip tosses.
Oh, sure.
Like him. He's the one who taught me that. We had a falling out, but it is what it is.
There's actually a match with New Jack and Balls Mahoney where they actually wrestled. I forget. I want to say it might have been the Elks Lodge. They actually had a wrestling match for ECW.
No
Gimmick.
Both of them. I believe it.
Yeah, Balls was good, man, too.
Well, I mean, they were in.
He wasn't fucked up.
They were in Smoky Mountain, man. The Gangsters and Boo Bradley or whatever it was. They were awesome, dude.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Nick. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So, so Jack would come in, and just different people from ECW would come in and work with us. we would just learn. And it wasn't like we went to formal training where we did drills and drills and drills. It was you learn some bumps, and then you do tag arounds for about 3 or 4 hours, and you just learn how
That's
to
where you learn.
just learn how to have matches with people. Yeah, and tag matches. It was all night worth of just round robin tagging. It was awesome. I loved it.
So you had
Such
the backseat boys were all training with you at that time
well,
too?
no, Johnny didn't come in until about 1999, 98, 99,
So you had the
because
original backseat boys?
it was the original was really, according to Billy Real, it was Billy Real and Trent Acid.
That's what I always heard.
That's what Billy Real claimed.
There's no truth to that.
Donnie B, Donnie B is he was a promoter and a manager. Big 80s Donnie B, awesome.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Awesome.
Bon Jovi?
No, that's
Donnie-
that's
Donnie Bon Jovi.
that's Nova's brother, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah. Donnie
okay.
B is
When you
Nova's
said
brother.
Donnie B, I was like, Donnie
Bon
Bon
Jovi.
Jovi. Remember
Yeah,
that
so-
dude?
He worked for Donnie B when Donnie B ran he ran
Jersey, right? Somewhere in
it
Jersey.
well, it was in Jersey. It was up in Brick, in that area. It was called Phoenix Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there, but anyway, so back to the Hawkins wrestling gym. So I did that, and then one night it was actually 3/16, Steve Austin Day. I went to a show. Angel Amoroso was running, and she just told me to go be on the show. And I had to call my dad, and this is before cell phones were like used all the time. So I had to borrow somebody's cell phone, which was like this real big cell phone. Call my dad, and have him. He just dropped me off. Have him turn around, and we lived like a half hour to an hour away from this place. And he brought like my gear, so to speak. It was my knee pads and my football outfit, because that's all I had. So I was just being a football character. Little did I know, Billy Real was also being a football character, and we were on opposing teams, and that was my first match.
Billy Ray was a football character.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And both of us were, but we were on the opposing team, so we had to tell a story that we were rivals in our football.
Rival schools.
That's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
And
So
then-
what year was that?
97. I
Wow.
believe it was 97. Now, Angel
100
told me
years.
that it might have been the year before. It might have been 96, but I think
it was
97.
96, dude, because I remember seeing Billy highlight reel. I want to say when he was doing the Titanic thing.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
97, right?
I think that was like 97,
Oh.
98.
Jesus.
I would have to go and check everything out, but yeah, man,
Yeah.
I feel really old. The fact that it was 25 years ago, if
Longer.
like 97.
More, yeah.
And I
Wow.
started training before then, but Angel got a lot of people work and their starts and stuff like that, and she doesn't get too much credit for it. So
Yeah.
she was very influential to a lot of people in Philly. Getting work for Dennis Carluzzo, get work for her when she ran shows. She hooked people up, and I know a lot of people just only know her from being a manager, but she hooked me up. Trent Acid, she hooked us
That's
up
awesome,
with
man.
the
You
business.
know where she's at these days?
She's in PA still. I don't know where at in PA, but anyway, she has this a network of all YouTube podcasts, a bunch of different ones. Look her up, Angel Amoroso, and go join her podcast group, because she has all these different ones. One's from wrestling, one's from whatever bizarre type of life she leads. She's a character. She is. I'm not going to lie.
All right.
She's a character,
no,
but
no.
she's a good character. She's harmless and funny and just entertaining. That's
Yeah, I
what
never
need
heard a bad thing about her. Anybody that ever talked about her always talks nice about her.
Yeah. Same thing. She also got Robbie Marino, his start too. I forgot about mentioning him because he came up with us as well. So who else? The Inchworm, Thomas Rodman. Did anybody remember Thomas Rodman?
He was ECW for a minute, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was part of the
BWO,
crew
right?
that would come in. Yeah, the BWO. He was the one that just wasn't picked up by the WWE when they decided to move forward.
Yeah.
He was on on teetering on whether he was going to be booked or not for it, but he didn't make the cut. Him and 7-Eleven, which is Feinstein.
Yes, the level is fine. Oh shit, that's great. So where'd you go from there?
So after that, it took me probably about 3 or 4 months before I had my next match. Then eventually the things started picking up, and I was in high school still. I was working for Jersey All Pro before, while I was in high school. I wrestled their first anniversary show while I was in high school. When I got there, my dad had to drive me up to the Newark Airport. I think it was like the Hilton that was at, or maybe the Radisson, Airport Radisson. Anyway, I get there. Frank says, thank God you're here. Can you walk Steve up to the room? I'm like, Steve, I'm thinking Mac, he can walk himself up. No, Steve Austin. So I'm in high school, and I'm one of the people who has to walk Steve Austin up to the room that they got.
He was
And
booked on the show?
he was they were doing autograph signing,
Okay.
a convention during the day, which conventions back then
Yeah,
Did
conventions
not
were
happen.
popping back then.
Well, no. They were good, but like they didn't happen like they happen now.
Right.
They happened like 3 times a year tops in like the East Coast, So and when they did, it was a big deal, like huge. So they had a convention, and Yoko was there, Steve Austin was there, Gold Dust was there. This is when they were like hot. The Samoans were there, all that, and I'm walking Steve up there. Now, Flash Wheeler, I don't know if you guys remember him, but
Yeah,
he
I know
was my old
Flash
tag team partner. And he tells this story a certain way, but I'll tell you what happened, and then I'll tell you his story, and then I'll tell you what happened. So
Good.
we walk Steve in, and WWF is on TV. They're showing packages of him. He is at his height of Steve Austin, like just kicking in, he just drinking beer all the time, just constantly showing drinking the beer. Pierre says to me, "Hey, do you?"
Pierre's the dude that was the Hit Squad's
Hit Squad,
manager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. He goes to me, "Hey man, ask Steve if he wants a beer." I was like, "All right, I will. Okay, why can't you?" Because you have to. Okay, but I will. So I go and ask him, "Hey Steve, would you like a beer?" And he goes, "No, I'm working tonight. I don't drink when I work." And I look at the TV, and I look back at him, and he's drinking beer in the middle of working.
He wises.
And I'm like, all right, he doesn't want one. He's working tonight. Now, that's what really happened. But Flash Wheeler tells the story. Nick Berk went up to Steve Austin and asked if he wanted a beer. And Steve just looked at him and said, "If I want a damn beer, I'll get it my damn self. Alone." And that's not what happened at all. Like almost like I was trying to hit on the guy and like trying to move into maybe spike his beer or something. That's not what I was.
See you looking at me with your beady eyes.
Now why don't you walk off into the sunset? But
that's awesome.
So, but that was like my first big experience, in wrestling, and that's like I was scared the whole entire night. And let's see what I do. I wrestled this guy Adam Flash.
Okay, yeah.
So I wrestled him.
He was a hell of a worker too, man.
Yeah,
he was pretty good, man.
And he's the guy who I had my favorite feud with. I used to wrestle him all over the place, and like I got him into CZW.
Nice
I didn't
guy,
put
man.
it was just like our relationship throughout the business was awesome, and it all started from here. And it was like I was just a jobber, and this was his ECW, tryout match. So they just wanted to see if he could lead me to a good match. And I listened to him. I did everything he told me to, and he got a job with ECW from that match.
That's awesome.
I don't think it lasted too long.
Yeah,
I think he was just,
much.
But he used to do a lot of WCW jobs and stuff too. So he was getting work.
Yeah.
But And so that's where it all really started. Just started from going to ECW, meeting Trent Acid and friends, him hooking me up with Angel Amoroso, and then eventually I got start working for Fat Frank, and that really lifted me throughout, to be able to work for everybody. And I feel bad now knowing that a call was put in, and that's why I couldn't work for Jersey All Pro anymore.
So you
Like
were
that
you were
happened a lot.
you started with JP before CCW.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you
So how'd you
gave
end
you
up at CZW?
how'd you wind up at CZW?
I was about to ask that.
I always thought you were a CZW guy. I didn't know you were a
No.
JP guy.
Yeah.
Originally.
So I was in. So I got the Jersey All Pro probably their second show. That is what it was. It was the first show at the Bayonne show, the Bayonne building, where it was like an old Acme or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first show there, and it was their second show because they had a show in like at a training facility prior. But anyway, that I was with them on the first show. Now with CZW, there was this event called Break the Barrier at the ECW Arena, and what that was somebody trying to be another company running at the arena while ECW was running, which was a stupid idea, but they had the show anyway. On the show, they had some hardcore people, and those hardcore people were Nick Gage and Justice Payne, and they were fighting each other. And oddly enough, that night, Angel Amoroso managed Nick Gage. So I think it was Nick Gage that night. And
Nick and Justice are brothers, right?
Yeah, that was the brother. That was the dude that we worked.
Yeah.
And so they had a hardcore match. They brought out a staple gun, and then all of a sudden New Jack started using a staple gun after that. And apparently that's where their big heat came from. But anyway, John Zandig was there with them and promoting CZW, and Johnny Kashmir was saying, "Hey man, we got to get in with Zandig. We have to get in CZW." And so we went and just talked to them. I was in college at the time, so I wasn't able to like always go to the CZW's things that they had going on, but they had a training center, and then they had birthday parties there practically twice a month. They had a birthday party there, and they had shows once a month as well in the training center. So Johnny and Trent start working for them for birthday shows and stuff, and then I started coming to the training facility. I would leave college, go there to train, and then just go back to college. I went to college in Bloomsburg University, which was about 2 hours away. So I'll go there just so I could train for a night, so I could be seen. Then eventually I got put on a birthday show, and then I started working for them. Probably their like third real show that they had.
So that's how you get your break. You have to do a couple birthday shows.
Yeah, I think so. That was the way back in the day.
Yeah.
You just do you do those birthday shows, or you do something for free for them, and then like you're always booked the next show. Every time you go in and work for somebody for free, you're usually booked the next show. So that was like the way that, and since then it was just constantly just working for CZW and Jersey All Pro. They're on different nights. They're in different areas. Jersey All Pro was all the way up north near New York. CZW was down south by Philly. It was fine. And then all of a sudden, I think it was, what was that, 2001, maybe 2002? All of a sudden, this like big beef started happening between them.
It was before that, bro.
Maybe it was.
It was before 2001 because
I think I want to say it was like 99, 2000 when they started that
99, 2000,
that big no hardcore matches, no blood, and all of that shit. Because I remember we went to one of the JP shows, and I was like, man, this shit is crazy. These motherfuckers do all kinds of crazy shit here. And then all of a sudden it was like an outlawed thing, But
yeah. And so when that happened to me too, between like having to back off with working from Jersey All Pro, number one, it wasn't the first time I was given an ultimatum to work for them or not. No, I'm sorry. The first time I was given an ultimatum, and I just continued to work for both of them. And then
who gave you the ultimatum? Was Zandig?
Yeah.
Did he
Well,
did he offer, like, I mean, was it like, I'll pay you more if you don't
No.
do this, or is it just like, if
It
you do
was-
them, you can't do me?
It didn't really go through him. It came through either Justice Payne or Johnny, because they were their bookers at the time.
But there was like no, they didn't offer you, like, if you
was-
don't work for them, we'll take care of you type of deal.
No,
Yeah, I'll give you an extra. I'll give you an
That's
extra
shitty.
$20.
That's so
Something.
shitty.
you know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's BS, man.
Yeah, they didn't offer
Give me
nothing. It was
something. God
It
damn.
was just like, hey, we don't, hey, like, what you're doing there is not what you're doing here. And then,
It's not right down the block.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's so
It's
odd.
just
But
so
then
stupid.
Trent started getting like a lot of bookings, but with back with Jersey All Pro again. Then it was fine.
Trent was working everywhere though.
Yeah.
Trent,
Yeah,
Trent was a
but-
madman.
But during that time, the Trent wasn't. And then when he started working back there again, it was fine. And then Trent stopped working there again because Trent was going to Japan all the time. So so they weren't really using him. And then, then they lifted me. But that happened there. This also happened. The same exact type of thing happened with Donnie B's company, Phoenix Championship Wrestling. Same type of thing happened where Johnny pulled me, Trent, and him out of Donnie B's company without even telling me. I just thought we weren't booked anymore. And all of a sudden, like 3 months later, Donnie's like, "No, Johnny said you guys weren't working for me anymore." What? I never said this.
Golly, man.
Godfather,
I would have been hot.
That was weird, man. That was weird. And then,
taking money out your pocket, bro.
yeah. Well, I mean,
time,
yeah. It was weird, but I talked to Donnie B about it like 3 months later, and I wasn't offered a job back. I mean, they've since closed or whatever, so they only lasted about like probably 3 or 4 years total. So, and I think that we stopped working for them 2 or 3 years in, so I think it was only a year left. But yeah, it's just a shame of like different weird things that have happened during this business in this business that like I found out way later that really affected what I was doing. It was really strange because I was out of my group. I was the only one that was doing shots with WWE. Johnny and Trent came a couple times, but they didn't go and pursue it. And Johnny got scared when he finally had a match. He got scared, didn't do it, and then he ruined it. So like the whole entire adventure, like throughout the business with my crew, was really kind of halted at so many different points, like not being able to work for Jersey All Pro, CZW, or also CZW and Phoenix Championship Wrestling. It was so weird dealing with that, and then finding out later, like that I was just not told.
You were just fucked for
wild.
no reason.
And then when I went to go do my own thing, nobody joined me. It was weird. Like Johnny and Trent, they didn't come with me to go and work for WWE. Every time I got booked, they could have gotten booked, and they never,
And who you getting? Who's your bookings going through for WWE?
Dreamer.
Dreamer,
Dreamer was getting me the look, and then and Johnny and Trent were hot at the time. They could have gotten booked every single time.
What do you think the real reason for that was? Do you think they were just getting intimidated, or
Johnny was very scared a lot.
what about Trent?
Things like that. Trent wanted to do it, but it was part of the team. Johnny didn't want to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, I've always heard people. I mean, anyone that brings up Trent just talks about how natural he was and how talented. Like I'm surprised he didn't go
He
on
was
his
on
own.
a whole different level, man.
Yeah,
especially at that time, man. Like the charisma that he had was fucking great.
No,
man.
I mean I remember because everyone speaks so highly of him. I mean, rightfully so. I'm surprised he never did it. Just said fuck it and gone on his own.
Yeah.
You remember him? You remember him doing the moonsault where he pulled his pants down and put his ass?
The full moonsault.
Full moonsault. Yeah, I remember that.
Trent was great, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I think a big reason why he didn't want to is because by himself he was dangerous. As far as like being responsible to get to bookings, to go and do things he's supposed to. He needs somebody there with him to coach him along.
Is that why he always had like a start and stop type of career?
Yeah.
Because I remember when I just joined, he was in Ring of Honor and he started to get like a real big push from them, and then all of a sudden it just stopped, and then like he wasn't there.
Yeah,
he couldn't make bookings. He couldn't make books. I mean, he eventually got himself arrested a lot, and then they just stopped depending on him. But a lot of it was all right, he was like a child at all times. So if he had to make it to ECWA for the Super 8, back when the Super 8 was a huge deal, he was wrestling Scoot Andrews. This is when you were a top cruiserweight draw in the Indies. You got booked for this tournament, and so call time was like noon, and he lived in South Philly. The show was in Delaware, about maybe an hour to get to the place, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And call time was, I believe noon. It could have even been 11. And I'm calling him from 9 o'clock on, just like Goodfellas, when they keeps on calling to check in, and then ringing or whatever. Like, just think about like something like that, because he didn't have a cell phone. I had to call his house, and if he wasn't near the phone, if the phone was underneath downstairs or something, then because it was a portable phone, that's the best he could have. Couldn't have a cell phone. But anyway, as I'm calling him, he's not answering, and I eventually get to his house. I wake him up, and he was like 2 hours late for this really big tournament. And so that was just because he was the only one booked. Johnny didn't make sure that he was there because it wasn't Johnny's responsibility that day.
Right.
So it was Nick's responsibility. I tried to be, which I just took the responsibility on my own. Like, nobody else told me, hey, you got to do it. So that never left him. So as we got older and he wanted to go do his own thing, he started to realize like he's missing bookings because of transportation or timeliness, figuring stuff out. So he doesn't have somebody handling that for him. So he had to go and pair up with somebody at all times. Yeah. And, we helped him out as much as we could.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have been, he really could have been something good.
Yeah, he could have been huge, man. Like,
all I ever hear about is how he could have been like the guy to break out, and that sucks, man. I know his demons got the better of him, and it's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was some documentary that came out that like basically was about, I think it was NWS, but it was also mainly about Trent.
Card subject to
change.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was it was like the indie version of what was it, Wrestling with Shadows or whatever that Jake Roberts thing was.
Yeah.
And it was like the indie version of that, man. It was so like just fucking depressing, and it was like, damn. And they really painted him as like he was the guy who was going to be signed, and all this shit and his demons, and it's just awful to watch. Like, just such paints a bad picture. And it's sad that I would think most people that would know him on a mainstream level would know that version of Trent rather than the one that we're talking about so highly of.
Yeah. Well, so people who really knew him, like, he was just everybody's friend. Everybody just loved him. Mm-hmm. He just wanted, it was part of his personality to be everybody's friend. So, like, it's not like when he wasn't booked or something, it was malicious and people hated him. So if you just stopped being booked, it was just, sorry, man, can't use you. All right, no hard feelings. I'll work for you somewhere down the road. And he did. So it wasn't like there was ever heat. He just got himself in trouble, but everybody just remembers his happy-go-lucky self. And now, the great person that he was.
Were you part of the? I forget. I want to say it's GCW that did it. But were you part of the tournament that was it the Trent Acid Cup or the Acid Cup they call it?
No,
not at all.
No, I was actually the one who outed him because all I wanted Brett to do was just ask his mom, Trent's mom, for permission.
They never asked.
Never asked.
Oh fuck! I never knew that.
I do remember you going after them. And
the only reason why was because when she found out that the thing was going on, she was going to come to me, and I'd have to figure everything out, and I just didn't want there to be heat. So I said, "Hey, call his mom, get permission." He asked how. Well, maybe talk to his aunt first. His aunt was cool. His aunt is like was more or less like Trent's sister, but happens to be his aunt. But so I got him in touch with his Brett in touch with his aunt, and apparently that didn't really go well. And all he had to do was just say, "Hey, we really want to run this show for Trent. We have your blessing." That's it.
All he had to say was, "Hey, we want to do a
Well,
show in his memory."
so he took a really like he took weeks to contact her, and by then
It was already being promoted.
yeah, by then it was already being promoted a lot. Trent's mom knew about it. Trent's sister, or I'm sorry, aunt knew about it. So they were just hot about the fact that they saw somebody promoting a show with his name, and they were never even notified. So at that point, when he decided to try and finally reach out,
too little,
already
too fucking
mad,
late.
and I didn't say nothing. I already like by that point, like she had already come to me, said, "What is this?" And I told her, I said, they're going to be reaching out just to ask. And she said, yeah, as long as it's all in good health, it's fine. And then time kept on going. And I don't think she ever got the call to ask. To this day, I really don't think she did. But then it got to a point where she's like, well, if people are going to do this and then make money off of my child's name, I have to go protect his name now. So now she has like a, I don't know, something. She went to a lawyer and had something drawn up that somebody cannot make the money off of the name Trent Acid in wrestling anymore.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and all it was just like because like he just didn't want to call up and say, "Can we run this in honor of him?" That's all it was.
And they would have said yes, without a doubt. They would have said yes.
Wow.
But because they never did, and because because they never did, and because the way he did speak to his aunt, apparently, like when he was talking to her, it was along the tones of, "We're running this show regardless, no matter what. So either give us our blessing or not, but we just want to know what do we have to do to make it good for you." It was along those lines. I don't know exactly what was said, but it was along those lines. And she only got mad about it. His mom only got upset because she found out about the show and like asked about it, and it was coming back to her that this was being run like in jest of her. All if he would have asked, she just would have been like, yeah, sure, just don't do anything to discredit him or anything.
Right.
She would have been perfectly fine with it, and that's all I wanted to get to, because I hate being the person that have to, like, if she asked me what it is, I hate being that person that has to explain. And she's not stupid. She's like, oh, now somebody's making money. How much money? How much money are they making? They're selling DVDs. Oh, I want a percentage of the DVDs because I want to open up a fund for whatever.
Right.
So then all this stuff starts coming in to play. Would have never crossed her mind had he just called up. Said, hey,
that's wild, dude. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's heap with me and Brett over that. Well, there's something else before that with promoting wrestling, but he was like a good friend of mine. I went to a really
down there in CZW when you were down there for a while, right?
Yeah, he was reffing and he was doing other stuff too before that, and yeah, like when I was starting to come back
who's
around.
Who's the guy that used to clean the rope off with the towel?
Well, that was towel boy Eric Tuttle.
Okay.
That was a different guy. That wasn't Brett Lauderdale.
We used
Brett
him in our match.
Is it true about Lord? I've always heard a rumor that he got the ref job because somebody hit him or some wild stuff, some shit like that. Like some worker hit him and he was in the crowd, and instead of like threatening to sue, Zandig gave him like a job reffing, or is that just like one of those telephone tell a wrestler type stories?
Never know.
I don't know. I never even heard of that.
Yes, I forget. Somebody told me it was like something wild that like something happened and he somehow worked his way backstage, and then he. Again, I don't know.
It wasn't hard to work your backstage at CZW. You just walked
I'm sure. But like, that's. I always heard like he slipped in through a crack, and I mean, hey, whatever. However it happened. Good for him.
I do know that he was. I don't know if it was like before, during, or after. He was like a tape guy for WWE. He was like they were logging all their tapes and converting it, I believe, into.
Digital, whatever.
Yeah, digital formats. Yeah, and he was one of the people that was doing it for a while, and then and that's like around the time that he got in with CZW. So
gotcha.
I don't know if he used his WWE thing or if what you're saying is true, because that very well could have happened.
Actually, I want to say maybe it was what the hell, Niles Young Sozio. I don't know why. I feel like
he talks a lot of shit. That fucker. That's why he's got a big nose. He's got now. He's a shit talker. No, hey, very well might be true. I'll ask him.
Yeah, again,
I'd like
I
to
mean,
know
I would
that.
have to ask him, but I could have sworn. Again, I've heard, you hear so much shit, but whatever.
Yeah. But like, with Brett, like I don't think he went through got into the business the way of training, the way that we did. I think he got a different way. Look, that story of getting punched and then that's how he got the job was probably just as legit as the real story.
Yeah, like I said,
sure
it's just one of those things.
Man, yeah, but hey, he was my buddy back then, back in the day too, and then so now he's running GCW, and he went and did that thing for Trent, and that happened. Yeah. So that's that story with him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's wild.
Let me ask you, how'd you end up in North Carolina?
I was just gonna go there. Yeah, let's talk about
North
this.
Carolina. So back when I was in really good shape.
With the empty arena wrestling.
All right. Bernard Goins. So this was just this was back when I was in really good shape. And I don't know who it was. Somebody called me up. Maybe it was like Tom Brandy or somebody saying, "Hey, they need."
Was it what's his name? Who's the one that trained Carino? The Hawaiian dude.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
King Kalua.
King Kalua, yeah, Mike Kalua.
That guy trained Carino.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So he was down there with us too.
Yeah. So, but
he's a Philly guy, right?
Yeah. Actually, now, like where I live, like he's right, like real close to me now, a lot closer to me than he'll work out the gym right down the street from my house every once in a while. He'll check in Facebook, King Kalua, go there, look for his sticker face paint,
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know what I got a call asking, hey, do you want to go down and work empty arena matches? And it's like 3 or 4 matches a day.
That's how they sold it to you, as an empty arena match?
Yeah. I had no clue.
We weren't sold that at all.
We didn't even know.
So
we didn't know.
Like where the fucking fans?
So I was told that it was just taping, and then they were gonna like can in
and superimpose
sound,
them, right?
Yeah, sound and other stuff. So went and did it, and then after like my 3rd time, then it started coming around that like this is being taped and sold on underground.
Oh, it's one of those things.
On the dark web.
This was
for other guys.
This was customs, but for the guys, but it wasn't called
pretty
customs.
much. Yeah.
What's it called, Sean?
Well, empty arena wrestling is on high spots, but yeah, like we heard some crazy stuff that the matches were being sold, and the
man-on-man action or some shit.
Wasn't there some dude in North Carolina that would like fly the boys down just to take photos of them? And
that was him. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. I know he hooked you up with some trunks and stuff, and for you to take 8x10s, right?
Yeah.
He paid you extra for that.
So you get the trunks. You wear them when you're wrestling. You get pictures and everything, and then you give them back to them.
You get to keep the trunks?
No, you had to give them back.
I gave them back. So there was some that I kept. I liked the trunks. There's some of them I was like, oh, I like the way these feel. So I kept a few, but I would give them back.
Dude would take them and put them in a Ziploc bag, right?
Yeah.
Nick Berk, and he's like.
The date and the matches and stuff.
Wow, yeah. Hey, you make it not paid,
yeah.
I don't care. Look,
dude, you got paid. Who gives a shit?
No, bro. Let me tell you something.
Hey, working for that dude
matches down there, right?
Quality, man. There's some great matches. Great people working there.
Elix Skipper, I wrestled. Like so many people from WWE were doing
good talent there. I wrestled Nigel McGuinness, Chad Collier.
Oh wow.
Yes. And so, and it's not like
Sonny Siaki.
That guy, he hated me. I used to fart right next to his face all the time. Sonny Siaki, and it's not like I meant to. It was just so many times I've turned around, just farted in his face when he's tying his boots, and I just so happened to be right there. Like but yeah. And it's not like we did. It's not like we did like matches where they said, "All right, well, when you body slam, put your hand a little bit more centered than on his thigh." It wasn't
No,
like
just
that.
regular matches.
It's just regular matches, and he didn't
Regular
do anything
matches.
crazy.
The only thing
That's
was
good.
occasionally he wanted people to wear the Speedos. Yeah, he was going hard for Boogaloo to wear the Speedos.
Wasn't happening, Captain.
No?
He was
Come
like,
on.
hey, Buddy was like, hey, Boogaloo, would you want to wear these Speedos? Louis like, nah, man, I'm good.
I was like negative Elton John. I'm okay.
My first experience there though, like going there, because I went by myself.
I remember
Showed
you
up
going
that's
with
by
Z-Bar,
crazy.
though.
and then got picked up by him, and then I had to go. He's like, I just have to stop by my apartment real quick. I was like, oh no, oh no, this is it. This is like the movies. This happened just like the movies. Say no drinks, no drinking, no drinking, no drinking. Keep your mouth shut. Keep the window open. Like I thought I was getting drugged.
Did you stay in the hotel with us?
I stayed in the hotels. But I just didn't know that first time. It was really legit, so he can stop by, pick up a bag, and then that was it. But probably, but it was just, it went there, and then like he brought me into everybody.
Striker used to stay with him. Matt Striker used to stay at his house.
Probably got paid more.
The
Unibrow,
the
right?
Striker.
Unibrow
Striker.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know he stayed at his house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he was never in the hotel. He wasn't in the hotel with us, and everybody was in the hotel with us.
Yeah,
except for a Striker.
Hey, man.
Oh man.
Sometimes you got to do something strange for some change, bro.
yeah. Hey,
Hey,
$1
I remember you coming down with Z-Bar, too.
Yeah. Bert used to bring Z-Bar. Pierce, we'll definitely get to your question in a minute. Yeah, so Z-Bar, I brought him and Mike Tarris with me. Z-Bar
wore the trunks too, right?
Wore the trunks.
Yeah,
just a couple times,
Z-Bar
not a lot.
He
He only did it like maybe once or twice. But what was really funny about Z-Bar was the flights there. He would always wear really offensive T-shirts, and every single time get asked to either leave or flip his T-shirt inside out. Every single time. Yeah, not at the airport, but like on the plane.
Serious?
Like one would say, what is a box? Something that the penis comes in. And then what else? It would have who lit the fuse on your tampon? Like all these different things from this. He had a sponsor called GetOffended.com. And actually, I have some of his things. Oh, by the way, I do want to talk about this stuff too. Hit me up if anybody collects wrestling stuff, action figures and all. Like I have a lot of bar stuff that I had to sell for his mom, and I don't know where to go for selling some like wrestling stuff. Like I got this Hulk Hogan thing for him. I want to sell his belt, his PWU TV title belt. I've got some stuff over here. Like there's just a couple things that I put up there, but it's his that I'm just trying to figure out how to sell. We had our deal that whoever is gruesome, so sorry I'm ruining your party here, but we had our deal that whoever passed away first had to make sure that their stuff got sold and give the money to your mom. Well, he won, and I get to sell his stuff. So that's so bad saying it, but I'm just trying not to. I'm trying to bring up a sad situation.
No, I hear you, man.
I know someone you could probably.
Dude, Z-Bar was a trip, man. He used to make me laugh. Some of the shit that would come out of his mouth. He was a funny ass.
Man,
dude.
He was so hard to be a tag team partner with too, because he was so happy when he saw you, and then by the end of the night, the most miserable person. So I have to drive home with the most miserable person every single night. Going there, he wouldn't shut up, so I couldn't sleep on the way up. And then he'd be miserable, and I'd be driving on the way home, and he'd be falling asleep.
It sounds like me.
Yeah,
he'd be like, I remember him selling, and like he would scream when he would
like
sell.
A girl.
That shit used to make me laugh, man.
The high pitched scream.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he was fucking great.
He was good. If he would have just like believed in himself a little bit more, I think he would have been a little bit better. I think he would have a
hell of
longer
a worker,
stay.
Man.
I'll tell you, like now, Kaide, like with like how when you dropped your weight and everything, like you look like him. You remind me of him.
Okay, awesome.
You know, I don't know if you're as much of a pig as him, but you know.
No. Bonus
But
Pierce.
Pierce says
that
that
was
he knows a few Facebook groups that might be good to sell some stuff.
Yeah.
hit me up. I know
Cool.
we're friends.
Pierce
on Facebook.
Austin group page.
Okay. All right.
Hey, so you want to get to his CZW question then?
Yeah. So CCW. Was there
were
ever
you
any pressure?
to do death matches?
Did you ever do any death matches or no?
I did a couple in Japan because they
Oh,
paid
shit,
you
okay.
a whole lot more. So
That
I did 2
was
of them in Japan.
Big Japan?
Yeah,
Big Japan.
for
Okay.
Big Japan. And we got there on the day before 9/11 happened. We got there. We got there on September 10th. I watched it happen in Tokyo at the Fuji View, and I didn't know that you could hit this button, and then it would have you talk English. So I'm watching in Japanese, thinking it's like
A movie or
like
some
a
shit.
movie. I'm like, these
Wow.
motherfuckers are sitting there talking about bombing us, and it's in there, and
Oh
like,
my god!
and I'm watching for like a good 10 minutes. I'm like, how long does this thing go for? When's the rest of the movie going on? And then I get a phone call at the same time, a phone call from John House, who is our commentator, asked me if I was okay, and then he told me what happened. And then right when I hung up the phone with him, Nick Gage came in to my room and told me what was going on, and then told me, yeah, you hit this button and you can listen to it in English. So he realized that like for the whole night before, I was watching everything in Japanese.
That's awesome.
So anyway, went to Japan, and then so I had 2 matches that were hardcore, and only one of them I actually did gig. The first one that I did, I was wrestling with John Zandig. He gigged, and he gigged so bad that all he did was just wipe his head and put his blood on me.
Huh.
Was this the first
I've
tour?
been tested since, so I'm fine. But back then,
Was this the first tour you guys at CZW did, or?
this is probably this is like a year
Okay.
into the
doing
tour.
it.
So
They're
this
already
is my first tour though.
Okay.
But
because Jukasai already came down prior to this.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that was how I bled during my match, and I got paid like a hardcore stuff in a hardcore match.
Oh,
I took a couple chair shots from John Zandig, and I hit him with the bell on the top of his head. And I didn't know that on the top of the bell there's like a little
little knob.
Yeah.
I know now, but I hit him on the top of his head, and he was so mad at me. He was yelling at me
That's
the whole
awesome.
match. You asshole! You hit me with the nut. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what? A nut? I didn't hit you in your nuts. No, the bell has a nut on the top. And as we're fighting, as we're going back and forth, he's explaining this to me, wiping blood on me. It was good. Now the second time we did a tag team match or a hardcore match it was another one involving John Zandig, and I did the gig. I wanted to because I just wanted to mark out and gig in Japan. So I did a really nice job of gigging, and I called the finish. The finish was John Zandig with light tubes. I think it was like 3 or 4 light tubes wrapped in barbed wire. Zandig had me in a camel clutch with that in front of me, and his partner, I forget what his partner's name was. It might have been, I don't think it was Jungusai, but it might have been. But anyway, came off of the top rope with a drop kick to my face with the light tubes and the barbed wire right in front of my face. I'm okay. That was stupid of me to even think about, but I just wanted to mark out and do something in Japan, and that was
we all been there.
Yeah, and like I think it was only the second or third time I ever gigged in my life too, and I did pretty good with it. I was pretty proud of myself.
I thought you were gonna say like you did like a piranha match or some shit.
No. It was the first time I ever did light tubes. First time I ever did barbed wire. Never did any of that stuff.
Yeah, I had no interest in the fucking light tubes at all. Like when Danny Havoc was like, "Yeah, I'll hit you with the light tube," I was like, what?
There you go.
Like, nah. I was like, nah, man. He's like, yeah, it's not bad. I was like, nah, man, I'm not taking that. He's like, you all right? I'll throw you into him. I was like, nah. I'll throw you into him.
Like, yeah, you take it.
I was like, you like that? You can do it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you,
dude.
Oh shit.
When that stuff first started like coming around and people were acting like that, like thinking that just everybody did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude,
Well,
was
now
just- it was
everyone,
weird.
now everyone
It'll be
does do
great.
it, dude. It's
Yeah.
It'll be
wild.
great.
All right, and I'll say it like this, dude. Death matches are part of what ruined pro wrestling because they go on the same show. When they happen on the same show, they're bad for pro wrestling because pro wrestling is supposed to be believable as a real combat sport. You're supposed to believe that. When you're doing death matches, there's no kayfabe on the fact that you're setting up something on the top rope. And this happens during regular wrestle matches now too. Now that I see people are standing there waiting for somebody to come up and get them on the top rope. So now it's evolved into that where it's okay because they did it in death matches. They do it in these ultra crazy high spot matches.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's meet in the middle during regular matches, and now just screw kayfabe in the middle of a match during your standard pro wrestling match.
You ain't wrong.
That's what wrote it. I'm not saying like deathmatch is the reason for it because I think that the other end with the high flying shit that they brought over from whoever backyard.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the dive stuff also did that also
Yes.
with the aspect of you
stand here
when people are standing there, you gotta wait and you're like, all right, are you gonna fucking jump? Hold on, I'm just gonna start punching this guy until you jump. But then he jumps and he's like super short and you gotta run in to catch him. And
Well, my favorite
life, bro.
My favorite is when it's like a tag match and the one partner's on the floor with the two opponents, but his partner dives just on him and like the other guys. Yeah, like
man.
Because he's in the middle holding the guys like this.
Exactly, yeah. And then the partner, he's the one that does the catch and everyone just says, oh, I gotta fall too.
You know what I'm gonna start doing for now and somebody goes, yeah, I'm gonna dive outside of you. Okay. And then when they come up short, I'm just gonna
That's called a papadon. That's called a papadon, bro. Alligator arms. I'll catch you, and they're in like this.
Trent used to go like this. So as soon like you put his hands up, as soon as he felt anything here, he dived like the biggest dive this way. Would never catch you. It was just boom, and then just as if like he just got killed with a I don't know, the bomb or something.
I remember catching Albanai, man, and that dude was like
heavy.
Dude. It was crazy how he was like small as fuck, but he was like a fucking tank, like a little bowling ball. Yeah. And that motherfucker land on you, and it was like I remember him diving at the Elks Lodge doing like a moonsault, and I was the only motherfucker that caught him. I was like, God damn it!
There's a science to that too. The how you have people outside. Number one, the people like if you're gonna have a group of people, then start like get them
work your way.
Work your way into it so that you do have people to catch in case he's short. You not everybody has to go stand in the same spot. You guys can spread out, and then the people who don't get hit don't sell. They have to know. Yeah, if they don't get hit, then you guys are just brawling until something happens. Like you have to know this stuff, and you have to be ready for all that. And I think that's part of the logic that's not thought of.
Well,
people act like an explosion goes off and you get shrapnel.
Well, I say it all the time, man. I say it all the time. There's there's no guys out there like yourself, the Boogaloo and LowRyda. There are no more guys in those locker rooms that can teach the guys. It's a lot of young kids. It's a lot of guys, even like my generation of guys. And it's about, just get yourself over, and no one's willing to learn or sit the guys down and be like, why should you do? There's a couple guys, don't get me wrong, like HC Loke's still out there, Steve Mack, guys like that, but it's far and few between in locker rooms. It's a lot of young kids that are just like, wrestling's an art, it's a this, it's a that, and it is, but there should be a story, and like you were saying, that's gone.
If if I can give any advice, number one, learn how to sell for everybody by watching Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, Piper. Watch them sell.
You know who's so good that don't get credit? Fucking Greg Valentine.
Yeah.
He had a good sell.
He was always in, like, you could tell that he was in pain. And that's the thing. Like,
You know who I thought sold great? Lex Luger.
did you? Oh, I was
No.
gonna say.
Yeah.
He's so great for Brody in the cage.
Every time
bro,
he got hit,
I was
man,
there. Remember?
the worst bumps.
Did you guys work for Cyberspace Wrestling?
Yes.
You were there for that promo?
I was in the room.
I'm so jealous
there.
right now.
Me and Matt Stryker, not Unibrow, the teacher Matt
my
Stryker.
student striker.
Yeah, we were standing right there watching it happen, and I laughed, and he looked at me and was like, "I can't believe you laughed." Like he held it in. And
What happened?
You never saw this promo?
No.
I if it's on the internet, I'll send it to you, dude. It's hysterical.
Lex Luger promo?
For cyberspace. Hold on.
Was he in the wheelchair already?
No.
He's trying to like rip off or take off his shirt, and he can't take it off.
Oh,
it's just like a fail, and just it was so bad. And they kept it. I think that was like their shot.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
It was
Hey, fuck
bad.
it, man.
But
awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as like selling and everything, man, like watch Bret Hart, like watch his rhythm of how he's selling.
Nobody takes a buckle like Bret, man.
I wish I took that. I learned how to take that buckle that way. It was after like I stopped working that I really looked. That's how he takes it. It's I never tried it, but there's like a certain way that he takes it, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm not going to give the secret away. But if you watch him sell, the progression of his sell, it's nothing like AJ Styles sells. I hate AJ Styles for his selling because he's the one who taught everybody to learn how to no sell. He's the selling, and then I'm up. All right, now I'm not selling anymore. He's the king of that. He's what everybody started to do. Like when you throw somebody in, then you stand up proper, you run towards them, and like everybody started copying him all the time, and I hated that, and I still do. Now he doesn't work like that anymore, but he did in TNA, and he did like before in Wildside. He would just stop selling after he got his comeback.
All right.
And then so
let's take it home.
So if you watch them, the old guys sell. I think that'll be helping you out. And another thing is, like you mentioned this at the beginning of the show, that you had the greatest match on the show. Don't try to have the greatest match on the show. Try to have the greatest. If you're number 3, try to have greatest number 3 match. If you're number 4 on the show, try to have the greatest number 4 match ever. There's a build and there's a story to the main event. And if somebody else has a better match than the main event, then you just ruin the show.
That's an old school mentality, dude. That just, and you're 100% right. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. Because this is what I think it is. With the internet, we have everything right now. We don't have a season that we have to wait for next week for. We have the whole season right now. So you're not getting the full story of anything because if I try to introduce this character that's a heel, he's going to offend you. So I have to quickly turn it into a way that's not offensive to you. And that basically means I have to close up that story just all within right now. So that's the way that people see entertainment, because they can't let themselves see a character develop. Because of that, they have to get all their shit in wrestling. They have to get all their shit in to show, to tell who they are, beginning to end, that show. Because they can't tell who they are, show A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then finally at Z is when you're really, the whole entire story is told. They can't do that anymore. So everybody's just giving the whole entire shebang.
You know, the big problem
go ahead.
The big problem is there's companies like, Beyond Wrestling, for example, that didn't do stories. No one really does storytelling anymore. It's all about, I want to see
the spot show,
this guy versus this guy, and these dream matches. Show. Yeah, it's just a spot show. And I remember when I was in CZW, Sammy Callahan, Sammy can call bullshit on it, but he had a huge meeting, and he's like, I don't care about stories. I don't care if you have a great match. I care about the gifts. He wanted those 3 to 5 second clips of these highlights because that was what got attention, which is great. But you're not the live people coming there are not invested in anything.
Yes.
And that mentality is slowly, he started teaching kids, and then those kids started, and it's just slowly a systematic thing where now it's about going out there and if I don't have the best show, why is the promoter going to bring me back?
And part of the issue is you get the fucking pay-per-view match every week on TV.
Yep.
Like they stopped building the fucking match. How long was we waited for weeks and sometimes months to see somebody finally have that match, and now it's like I see it Monday.
Remember Sabu and Taz?
I see it Monday.
Sabu and Taz?
A year.
Yeah.
So
forever, dude.
I don't know, Nick. You probably, because you started like when I started. You remember in the beginning where like if a real promoter promoting the show, they would tell you before your match when your card was up, hey, this is what I want from you. Go out 15 minutes. Do not leave the ring. Keep it inside the ring, or don't go off the top rope because you got Snooker on the show. Snooker's going off the top rope. Do not do nothing off the top. Right? You remember that, right?
And don't do a super kick because that's this guy's finisher.
Yes.
Everybody knew what other people's moves were, and you didn't fucking go out there and do it. Nowadays, you got SAT on the show, and you got 12 people doing the Spanish Fly. You got fucking, Shawn Michaels there, and you're gonna do a super kick as a regular spot in the match. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
The problem is people stop getting slapped.
Like, I did it this weekend. Steve Mack was on the show. He was wrestling Low Life Louie. I went up to Steve. I said, "Hey man, are you doing the Larry does the finish?" He's like, "No, I'm not doing it tonight." I said, "Is it okay if I do it?" He's like, "Yeah." So, I got you don't need to ask me, but I was like, "No, it's the right thing to do." But nobody does that. There was 100 clotheslines on that show. But I mean, that's just how I came up, and that's because these assholes tormented me and taught me the right way. But I'm appreciative of it.
But it's true, man. Like, dude, Louis done slap motherfuckers in the locker room for it. You know what I'm saying? For doing somebody else's finish.
Now you do that, you get blasted on Twitter and you're canceled.
I can't believe that all the crazy
trouble.
wrestling that he did, he's still able to walk, man. Louis, God bless him.
No, he's talking about me.
Oh, I was talking about my brother. But yeah, Low Life Louis.
Oh, I thought about Low Life Louis. Yeah,
Low Life Louis definitely did.
All he needs is a dildo, and he's good to go. That's it. You give him he gigs, he blows on a dildo, and he's done.
Some things never change. But do you remember? So not only did they used to have like the sheet and stuff, but they would also have the finishes right there, so that if you were like number one, you don't do their finish, but also you can tease their. If you're like after them, you can tease their finish because they just went over with a super kick, and now I'm going to tease a super kick because that just finished the match before. So now everybody's going to think that super kick is going to. So I'll tease it. I won't hit it, but I'll tease it. Something like that. But or like the finish before was a sunset flip, which back in the day we used to have those as finishes.
Body slam.
And then
we used to body slam.
Exactly. And then so you would do that as your falsie or something. False.
You take it home nowadays with a small package, and people are like, "What?
What the fuck is that?
Why did he do that?
What is that?"
That's what I miss. I miss, like, I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys even caught on to this, but back in the day in WWF pay-per-views, that not the E ones, but the F, there was always a theme of a certain move that was done throughout, like just about every show, every match. Like whether it was like, we normally don't see sunset flips, but now all of a sudden sunset flips were in every single match of that pay-per-view for some reason. We used to catch on to them back in the day when I first started. I remember it was when it was WWF before WWE. We would catch that, like watch pay-per-views with Johnny Trent and Billy Real and all that. We would catch on to that. But the cool thing is, Kaide, if you could get people to start doing things like where they play off the finishes before them and tell that story throughout the whole entire show, do you know how entertaining that would make things and how much fun?
I agree.
the whole entire show would be.
I agree. It's just these kids now, dude. And I say kids, I mean fuck, but yeah, dude. It's you can't talk to anyone anymore. You try to tell people that like it's in one year and out the other. It's just how it is.
You want to judge Judy?
Ah man, do you want to talk about that or Tajiri?
Let's do Tajiri first.
We'll do Tajiri first. All right. So funny how he questions this. Did he kayfabe his English? Yes, he did. Number one, yes, he did. But I called him out on it. So the night I wrestled Tajiri, I was supposed to. We lost somebody. The night I wrestled Tajiri, I was supposed to win the WWF, the CZW world title, which I did. I won that belt and then dropped it to Tajiri. But I only dropped it to Tajiri because he showed up. He wasn't on the show. But they wanted to have somebody. They looked at this as a great opportunity to put a belt on Tajiri. So I was supposed to keep the belt for like 2 shows and then drop it to John Zandig. But I won it that night and then dropped it to Tajiri 5-10 minutes later. I had a match with him and then, I dropped the belt. But anyway,
for the belt,
Justice Payne.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, Z-Bar turned on him, and then I won.
Okay.
So anyway, I was told I was working Tajiri, and we went over, the match. He started acting like he didn't understand what I was saying. And I was really good friends with Doug Gentry. He was, he was Rob Feinstein's, right-hand man. They were, they started Ring of Honor together and everything like that. So I knew Tajiri spoke English, and he said, so I was starting to call a spot for him, and then he was doing it, and I was like, dude, stop. I said, I'm best friends with Doug. Stop kayfabe me. I know you speak English. He goes, okay, how about we do this? And then like perfect thing, like better English than me.
Like a Japanese professor. Okay.
Yeah, like, are you shitting me? You speak this great English, and you're hiding it?
He spoke perfect Spanish too.
Yeah. Oh, and he did the same thing to Val Venus, but Val Venus didn't know that he spoke English, but he heard him speak Spanish. So Val Venus started speaking
Val Venus
Spanish to him.
Yeah.
So then he caught him the same way. It was the same exact thing. So, but Tajiri, it was smooth. I was kind of mad. I didn't call for the mist on me.
Z-Bar got it.
I forget. He did it. So right after me, John Zandig came in and squashed him. Well, not squashed him, but beat him for the title, and then got the title back that night. The same night, the title
changed three
times. Yeah,
Jesus
and I think he was saving the mist for him. But I should have. I should have said, like, I didn't realize. I thought that Tajiri was actually going to go over on John Zandig. I thought he was going to hit him with the mist and win the match. But he was missing the mist, I believe. And then losing the match. So I should have called, hit me with a mist, and then that's how he beat me, so that he can miss the mist next time and win. But I think I forget what it was like.
Was that all? So was that all? So Xander could say he went over on an ECW guy?
Probably. I'm sure it was.
Unbelievable.
John, I love him. He gave me some awesome opportunities. Gave me a lot of work. How
come nobody gigs on him for his Shawn Michaels tattoo?
They're too busy getting on about being a Trump supporter now.
Oh yeah. Wait, he has a Shawn Michaels tattoo?
Yeah, he had that Heartbreak Kid tattoo.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know that.
Did.
I feel like you're making that up, Louis.
That's what
that's like slander.
Fat Frank and Ray used to. That's like one of the biggest things about him. Like
I'm gonna have to go look. I know he used to have a tattoo of a girl's legs here and here, like on his. It's weird. He's a weird dude. I remember coming back from Italy. I had to drive with him. It was me. It was him. Then me. Then his wife driving. Not a word was spoken from the airport to his house in Jersey, about maybe half hour away. The most uncomfortable ride I had ever had in my life in wrestling was right there. A half hour drive back from Italy. Italy, this was a great time. Not a word from these two. It was so weird. That's because I left my car at his house. So last time I did that. Oh, I used to have him watch my dog because I had a dog back then. I had to give the dog away because I was going away every weekend for wrestling. But I used to have him watch my dog as I would go away for weekends working wrestling. It was so weird, watching him with my dog. But I don't even talk to him anymore. He got mad at me because I didn't know that he really does have a Facebook page. I thought it was like his daughter running it or somebody else running it and putting like cutesy little pictures up all the time. So I used to just make fun of him. Oh, cute picture, John. And then eventually he got mad. Fuck you, Berk, and blocked me.
Really?
That is what John would say. So I don't.
You get blocked by a lot of people, huh? 'Cause
Yeah.
Kevin Matthews blocked you too,
Kevin
right?
Matthews. We'll get into Kevin Matthews right now, and then we'll do Judge Judy.
Okay.
Kevin Matthews, he blocked me for he put up these tights of him in they're like it's not like they were B types. They were B bumblebee tights, and they weren't the killer bees, just the stripes. It was beehives with bees on it. It was such a weird.
Does it actually have a bee
picture
on it?
It was like take a picture of a beehive with bees just around. That's what it was on his tights, and I would just make fun of him, like, oh man, like these tights be crazy, like the dumbest jokes, just so dumb. And that's like my thing. I'll do like the really dumb dad jokes just to be so dumb. And he got it bothered him enough so that he did say something about it, about that. And then later on, probably like a week or two later, he asked about some gear makers, and I was like, I don't know, let me check the beehive. And then he blocked me. And
Wow.
and so he was with Luke Hawks, and
Yeah, I seen
Luke
that
Hawks put up
picture
a
the other day.
I was like, oh, look at this guy. He blocked me because I just realized after a while, I hadn't seen anything from Kevin Matthews. I was looking, did he delete me? And not only did he delete me, but apparently he blocked me because I couldn't see anything from him. But then I guess he unblocked me, and now he just has me deleted. But then he started responding, telling me, "Oh yeah, your jokes are corny." They're not supposed to be great, jokes. They're the dumbest. They're dumb for a reason. And plus, if I was to make real funny jokes that people would laugh at, I'd be kicked off Facebook every other day because you can't. I don't know. My humor is not. My humor is not for Facebook friendly, so I make the dumbest jokes possible.
And now you can go to Twitter now. Elon bought it, so you're safe.
Yes. Which I have to learn. I have to learn how to Twitter. People are I
have to learn.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I still don't know.
I try to figure out when people post something and then it's a retweet or a follow or a comment. I don't know what I'm reading. I don't know what the beginning is and what the end is. So I gotta learn how to learn how to Twitter. Do they have these? Do they have these for us senior citizens at the library?
Twitter for dummies.
Yeah. Oh man. But,
so what about this Judge Judy thing, man?
You guys didn't know I was on Judge Judy?
No, I didn't know anything about that.
Oh my god, bro! This was
what kind of gimmick did you pull?
This is about 10 years ago, and look, if you saw it, you would say it was definitely booked, but it was not booked. This is legit. What happened? I met this girl on Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish.
I met a girl on Plenty of Fish, right?
Jesus.
And it ended up on Judge Judy. So that's the beginning and the end. That's Tarantino, and we'll tell you the whole entire story. All right. Met this girl on Plenty of Fish. She was visiting her family for the holidays in South Philly. She lived in Hermosa Beach, California, which is right below Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Apparently she had some ties to Hollywood or something. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I can get in, schmooze with her, and maybe I can get my foot in the door in Hollywood too. So I started talking to her. She was all right in her pictures, but then she said, hey, tonight is Murmur Monday. It was a Monday for at the one of the casinos down in Atlantic City. Starts with a B. One of the popular casinos in Langston.
Bellagio.
But I think that's in Vegas.
Okay.
But anyway,
Borgata.
Borgata, that's it. Club Murmur in Borgata. She wanted to go. I was like, all right, you know what? Never had a bad time at Lang City, except for when I got arrested. But never had a bad time in Lang City. So let's go. We'll have some fun. If I don't like the girl, at least we went to Lang City, had some fun. Went to a club. Went and picked her up. This girl had a body of Kaide, pre-diet.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Shit.
Oh,
And
Catfish.
this girl was a good deuce and a half. Oh, man, I was like, no. You know what? I'm a good guy. I told her I'll pick her up. Let's go. Here, I'll let her in my car. We got 2 blocks. We didn't even get across the bridge into Jersey yet before she was annoying the shit out of me. I should have just circled around, dropped her off. But she was annoying me already. But anyway, we went to grab something to eat, and I paid for dinner. I thought McDonald's. She said, no, I kind of want to go to a restaurant. So I dropped $100 on her for dinner.
Wow.
But anyway, because it was steak. So
She goes, you made a mistake. Did somebody say steak?
yeah, it was a mistake. So we go to the club. She said she can get us in. She couldn't get us in.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? But whatever. I bought her a drink, and we start talking a little bit, and she tells me she doesn't respect anybody that didn't complete college. I did not complete college. I was like, great.
Did you tell her you were a
Wonderful.
worker?
Yeah, I think I did. Before that, I'm pretty sure I told her, because like she knew that I didn't go to college, because I told her I dropped out of college because I was wrestling, and that was like, so right away she knew I didn't finish college, and
So she threw a jab at you.
yeah, she couldn't respect anybody who didn't go to college. I looked at my phone. She said, why do you keep on looking at your phone? I said, that because my friends are texting me. She said, you're out with me. Nobody matters right now. I'm like, my friends definitely matter.
Wow.
So go fuck yourself. So I said, I'm going to go have a cigarette. This is when I smoke cigarettes. I was like, I'm going to go have a cigarette. She goes, that's disgusting. You're not going to have a cigarette. I said, yeah, I am. She said, no, you're not. I was like, fine. Just to keep the peace, I'm not going to. I'm going to go get a drink. So I went and grabbed the drink. She's like, well, where's mine? I said, you can go get your own drink. She goes, well, you took me on a date. You have to buy it for me. I said, nah, I bought you your one drink. I paid for your dinner, so you can go buy the rest of your drinks. So we're just hanging out. And she goes to the bathroom. She goes, if I go to the bathroom, are you going to leave me? It's like, no. But she goes to the bathroom, and I'm thinking, she's been through this before. So I go out and have my cigarette. And I'm texting all these people, like, what should I do? What should I do? So I go, like my mom tells me, go tell her you have an emergency, you got to go home. So I went, told her, hey, I have an emergency, I got to go home. She's like, no, we're staying here till 2:00. What? 2:00? It was like midnight at that point. I was like, fine, whatever.
We got to go. So either you come or you stay.
That's exactly where it got to. I said, you either come or you stay. She goes, I'm staying. I said, okay, fine. Then I was like, I went out and got her her jacket. She left her jacket in my car, brought it back to the coat check, and I sent her a text message saying, go find your coat check. She, while I was dropping her jacket off a coat check, she went out to my car and kicked all around my car. I come out the door and I watch her kicking my car all around it. She put $3,000 worth of damage on my car.
Holy shit.
She walked up the steps like to the entrance, and she kneed me in the balls. And and it took me everything not to push her down the steps, because she walked up the steps. I'm at the top. She needs me in the balls. I'm like right here. It took me everything not to push her down the steps.
No, man, that's awesome.
So I just went down to my car, and I rolled. She was like yelling at me. She was chasing me down. You're leaving me? You're really leaving me? And I left. I went home,
after you kicked the
left her down
fucking
there.
car, you definitely.
Fuck, dude.
So I didn't realize I didn't realize that she did $3,000 worth of damage on her car. I thought she only kicked like one panel, like the back. That's really what I thought. When I got home,
What kind of car did you have?
It was okay. So this happened about 2011 or 12. I bought the car brand new, year 2000. Now,
Okay.
I kept the thing clean. It did not have a dent in it. I just wanted to be restored to what it was before she kicked the shit out of it. So I told her, I said, look, you're going to have to pay for this. She goes, I didn't do anything. I didn't know what you're talking about. So I drove down there to the Brigada, and I went to the security, and I asked them for a tape of the video camera right above. I told her, I'm at the place. You're going to pay me to fix my car. I'm at the place getting the camera, getting the video. She's like, no, you're not. She calls the guy right there, and she says, oh, yeah, he's here right now. Nick is here looking for this tape. We're going to get it to him. I said, see? So then she says she's going to pay for the damages. I went and got the estimate. At the time, I worked at a car dealership, so I got a really nice estimate. That's why it was $3,000.
Okay.
So anyway, she said she was going to pay for it. 3 months go by, she didn't, or 2 months go by, she didn't pay for it. And I said, look, you live in
I'll
Hollywood.
take your ass to Judge Judy.
I said that. I said, get us on one of those judge shows. I said, you're not paying for it. I know you don't have the money. Get us on one of the judge shows. We just tell the story as is, the same exact story that happened. You tell it. I tell my story, my side, you tell your side. Just don't lie about anything. She'll give me the money to pay for it, and you're fine. We get on there, and I'm telling the story. Of course, I am definitely hamming it up. I'm Nikki Benz, the character. If you remember my character,
I remember the gimmick.
I am doing that, but telling the legit story. This girl's over here lying, telling lies. She gets caught in a lie, everything. And Judge Judy, I ended up calling her sir.
Oh shit.
My goodness.
I ended up calling the girl that I was taking to court. I called her fat. To Judge Judy, like she thought I was the biggest womanizer. I only got like $500 plus. Oh, but I also negotiated a payday, so I got 3 days there in Cal. They flew me out to Cali. Got 3 days there. I got there the day of the Grammys, and I stayed 3 blocks away from the Grammys. So I was at the Staples Center when everybody was coming out. And this was when Whitney Houston died during the Grammys that year. So Whitney Houston had just died. She died the day before I got there,
okay.
but I saw where she died. I saw the hotel.
Shit.
So so they paid me
Can I get her
$500.
room discount?
Yeah, I get a room for a discount. Yeah, I'll take Whitney Houston's for half price. But dude, they paid me for going out there. They paid me per diem for eating. They paid for a friend to fly out with me. I paid. That was Teddy Fine. I don't know if you know him. He's a wrestler, indie guy from up here.
Mm-hmm.
He came with me just for the trip. He came, and so they paid me $500
while I was there.
I should have tried to get on the show, but she awarded me $500. I got a $200 cash for eating, and I got paid $250 for being there for the day. And then so all in all, I got about $1,000 for the whole thing. And I got on TV. But if you get on TV, or if you get on somehow get it on the internet and watch it, it's hilarious. I just can't find it. If anybody knows how to find these obscure things, I would love to be able to find it and put up on the internet for people.
Absolutely.
Every time it goes up, somebody takes it down. But I have like the episode number and the name. I can send it to you. We'll be able to figure it out. Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was awesome. But the whole thing was just hilarious. You have to watch it. You have to watch me say what I say. Certain things when she's talking, dude. I'm such an idiot. I'm turning around to the crowd, just going, "What?" Like it was like the weird, like, and I'm on national TV on Judge Judy. This is what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Working the crowd.
Oh man,
oh shit!
Pulling the heel card.
Oh,
yes,
that's like Ivan being on fucking Jerry Springer, right?
I see a lot of people were on Jerry Springer.
Yeah,
they were bringing workers on for.
Yeah, so that was getting booked by Madman Pondo and also Dirty Deeds Darren Wise. He was a promoter from up here. They were getting the people booked for
Swear.
Springer. I was scheduled for something, but I didn't do it. Or I put my name in for it. And they said, yeah, we'll get you on, but I never got the date. So sucks. Did I get my car fixed? Yes. $60 in a parking lot of a local mall. Some guy came around with like the suction cups, pulled all the vents
genie.
out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's what it was. I knew it. I knew that's all. Look, the car was like 12 years old. I just wanted to try and get some money. I was working the guy, you know. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, dude, and like the worst part was I had all these ex-girlfriends hit me up like, you went out with that girl? Like, well, it was a bad time. I was doing a lot of bad things. I've recovered. I'm fine now.
Oh
Good.
shit.
Hey Nick, let me ask you a question, bro.
Yeah.
So this is something that we like to throw out there. What's the craziest road story you have? You don't have to throw out anybody's name,
No,
or
I want to.
But if you,
hey,
you do,
man,
it's
feel
appreciated.
free. Yeah,
Yeah.
do
I'll
it.
definitely do it.
Boss.
This is this is such a crazy story. All right, it was working for Bill Burns. It was me, Z-Bar, Tough Enough Greg Matthews,
Oh, I remember him. Good dude, man.
and Rockin' Rebel.
Oh shit.
Fucking rockin' rebel.
How
Did he
about
like
that
kill
story?
somebody?
Killed his
Yeah.
wife and himself.
And
And
his
himself,
wife.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That dude's a
Man.
piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I never saw it coming. Apparently, a lot of people all felt that. Yeah, this guy would definitely do that. So,
I remember him just being super racist.
Yeah.
well, I thought it was all a gimmick.
No.
Huh? Found
Well,
out.
when you're brown, you don't feel that way.
I want to tell you. Oh, dude, I want to tell you the first time I ever witnessed racism too, and it was in wrestling. The first time I ever really witnessed racism. I want to tell you that story. So I'll tell you that after this. But so the story. Okay, we go work for Bill Burns, NWA Wildside. We drive up. Drive down. It's in Georgia. Then we're driving back. We go to the place to eat, the pancake place, the crack. No. Jesus
No, I
Christ.
know. Waffle House.
Waffle House. We go to Waffle House, and as we're leaving, these girls are like yelling at us, like really bad, just talking shit to us, really, really bad. And we go to my car, I think it was Bar's truck that we drove, and I was chewing tobacco at the time, a pack of lit. I'm spitting, and Rebel has to pee, and he goes, give me your cup. He pees into this cup with my spit in it, right? Walks over to the girl's car, opens it up, throws the bottle of pee and chaw dip all inside the car, and closes the door and walks away. And the girls come out with their boyfriend and looking inside and see what he does. And now we had to fucking jet to the highway to get away. That we weren't caught or nothing, but
Oh shit,
dude, it was like,
you don't even know why these chicks were yelling at you.
No, we had no clue. They were probably yelling at the people inside. We just thought they were yelling at us.
Oh,
I think they were yelling at their boyfriends inside.
oh shit.
And I didn't know what happened. He didn't tell us what we were going to do. He didn't tell us that anything. We didn't have a game plan. When they finally see us opening up your car door, and then we have to we all had to just hustle in, figure out getting into this car, and then get on the road and figure out a way to get out of someplace in Georgia that we've never been to. We don't know the roads. And so these local people are definitely going to catch up to us and beat the shit out of us. Well, I don't think that they would have really beat us up, but still, you get the point,
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that was probably the craziest road story.
That's hilarious.
That I have. Other than, there was a lot of different times of being Yeah, you know what? You guys said I can talk shit or
Yeah.
talk about people.
Do it, man.
Like down in Florida, this isn't talking shit, but I hope it doesn't get him. Nah, what if it gets him in trouble?
You don't
Yeah, I
gotta
can't.
drop a name, bro.
All right. Nah, it's not fun without the name.
Put the name in the
It's
private
just,
chat so we know who you're
it's
talking about.
nah, nah. I'm not. It's just like stuff down in Florida. All right. Well, I'll tell a different Florida story. Okay, so you remember? Do you guys know Jeff Peterson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
was the guy from down in Florida, and then they would have Jeff Peterson Memorial Cup
Yeah.
up here because
Mhm.
he passed away. Well, while he was alive, it was in between his remission of his cancer. We were booked down in Florida, and I was down there with Bar got us the booking. I flew down. Bar had to take the train because they wouldn't pay for his flight. I stayed with Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt gave me ecstasy, and I didn't take the ecstasy because I didn't want to take ecstasy with Missy Hyatt. So I go and I work and everything, and then I stay at the hotel with everybody for that night. But I was there for like 3 nights, and I stayed 2 nights at Missy's, and then stayed at the hotel after the show, and because it was closer
You
to the
stayed
airport.
with Missy?
What?
Who'd you stay with? Who and Missy?
Just with Missy.
Oh, okay.
Nothing happened.
Okay. Hey, if it did, it did.
Yeah, you know. But a gentleman never kisses and tells. But
You got no respect.
but so it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I have probably like a 7 o'clock flight or whatever it is. I have to get to the airport like now, and I'm knocking on everybody's door, calling everybody, asking. Finally, Jeff Peterson, what? You did? All right, I'll drive you. He flies down the expressway, going over 100 miles an hour, gets pulled over by the cops, and they don't do this up north, but apparently they do this down south. A cop will open the door, grab you, and yank you the fuck out and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you, boy?" And they did that to him. And so me, with ecstasy on me, I thought that I was next. So I take the ecstasy so that I don't get caught with the ecstasy on me. And the cop gives him a tongue lashing, pokes his head in and say, "Are you okay to drive? Because this guy ain't driving nowhere." Said, "Yep." Said, "Get in," and I drive to the airport. Now, I miss my flight, but I get the one 15 minutes after whatever my flight was supposed to be, so I'm able to make a flight, or maybe it's a half hour, whatever. I don't wait that long. Checking in again on my flight, ecstasy's kicking in. So here I am. I just got a kid who's in the middle of remission from cancer, yanked out of a car, and a very large fine, like $500 or so more, like, the fine, which he never told me where to send the money. I was going to pay for it for him, but he never asked me or told me where to send the money. He passed away since then, so you're beat. And I am on a plane from Florida home, rolling on fucking ecstasy in a fucking
double dose.
Like, yes, just, oh man, like,
Jesus.
it was the worst ever. Oh man, so that's a good road story, but it's a good but bad road story, I guess.
Man, dude.
But I wanted to tell you about like the first time I ever saw racism. I remember I wanted to tell you about that.
Okay,
Racism. Like, I'm not talking about like, dude, I've heard, the N being dropped my whole life, of course, but it was never like a hatred because of color.
You are, yeah.
It was just as much as it was that. It was, if a fat guy steps on your foot, hey, you fat ass,
Yeah,
you're calling them because they are. And growing up in the city, that's as far as
that's why we talk. Yeah,
that's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is the night that I met Johnny Cashmere, or maybe the day. It was the time that I met Johnny Cashmere. It was the very show that I met Johnny Cashmere. I was with Flash Wheeler, my tag team partner. He took us to a show in Palmyra, New Jersey, and it was being run by these dudes. I think their name was Bad Attitude, if I'm not mistaken. And
somebody told us about them too.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I was brand new. I met Johnny Cashmere there at the show. First time we ever became friends. But Flash Wheeler drove. And if anybody's getting on the show, the order is him and then me. Well, they had a whatchamacallit, they had a spot open, and they called Flash Wheelers on the show. So great, he's on. So now they're having the pre-show thing and they're talking about it. They think that I was Flash Wheeler. So when they call for Flash Wheeler and he steps up, then they start with like the whole racist tone, like, "Oh, I didn't know it was a darkie," whatever they're saying. And I'm like, this really goes on. Like, this is the first time I witnessed it. And now Flash Wheeler, I will say this: if I ever like breathed air before him, then he would say it's because I'm white and it's racist. Everything that I did,
Mega and Kaide.
everything that I did, I got this shirt and he didn't because I'm white and he's black. Everything was racist to Flash Wheeler. So I never believed it. When I saw this, I was like, well, that's it. All right, well, it does happen. And so I that was the first time I ever witnessed racism. I was like, I was surprised. They didn't call him the N-word. They didn't, they didn't do that. But they definitely called him out and, talk shit because of the color of his skin.
We got Sal said you hung out with Chuck Williams and Zandig, and you have to explain to us that you may have been around racism. Then he said neighbor please, which is
neighbor please.
Who's Chuck Williams?
Chuck Williams is Rock and
Rebel.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's real. That's a shoot name.
Yeah, it's a shoot name.
By the way, Chuck Williams is the legit greatest neighbor in the history of neighborhood. Hey, we gonna have to wrap it up, though, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh man, well,
We're
we barely even touch the surface.
Oh, we're gonna have to
get you back on.
dude.
We'll get you back on.
I would love to have you back on.
Matter of fact, we don't have nobody for next week. Let's just get back on.
Well, I got someone. I got someone. Come on, Boogaloo.
Okay,
I'm on top of this.
If you're free in like 2 weeks, we could throw you back on.
Yeah, man, definitely.
I love just talking about like you guys make me remind me of like all the old stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely do. Salvatore says he killed the territory.
Yeah, that's our boy right there, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Boogaloo, dude, I don't think I got finished telling the story of like how I've carried the guilt of that bad match that we had ever since that day.
I mean,
I
you
carried
back,
that,
man.
though.
And
Was
y'all
it that
gotta
bad?
have one more, bro.
Oh, you act like I can work, dude. I've tried to train people. Running from one side of the ring to the other, I get blown up. I'm not talking hitting the ropes on a good back and forth bunch of times. I'm talking boom, boom, whoo, we're done for the day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could do it, but dude, I've there, like, between that and like there's two people that I've hurt. I think that I remember hurting in my life. That like I carry that a lot of guilt, and I hope that I didn't ruin like your spot in CZW or anything by but I hope
No,
that didn't,
I think that was me
His
because
brother did without taking light tubes.
yeah, they were like, hey, you want to take this chair spot? I'm like, nah. My brother's like, don't worry, man. I'll cover your head. I'm like, bitch, I ain't got health insurance. The fuck you talking about?
Oh, fuck.
But hey, man, listen.
Yeah.
And if you're free in 2 weeks, bro, we'll get you back on, man.
May 11th.
hit me up.
May
Oh,
11th.
that's my birthday. Oh shit.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know
Damn,
if
You
you're
doing for
gonna
your
be-
birthday?
Dude,
if
I
you're
don't know if
free,
you know this about me. I've got no life. I'm not married. I don't have kids. Now I might be doing something for my birthday. I got to find out if my family wants.
let
to
us
do
know,
something.
man.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, keep in
I'll let
touch.
you know. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
but hey,
All right,
man,
man. Nice talking
if
to you,
people
man.
want to reach out to you, how
Yeah.
can they find you?
Hey, yeah, just go.
They can't find you on Twitter. I know that.
No, well, you could.
Well, they
it'll
can,
take
but
me about
he ain't gonna respond.
take me forever to figure out that. Yeah, it take me like I find things every once in a while that somebody retweeted about me or whatever, or included my name in something. Like I find that out a week or two later. But anyway, Facebook, just Facebook. Go Nick Berk from Wrestling. That's me. And hit me up if you want. If you want to buy any of Bar's stuff, I can send you pictures. I'm
Yeah,
selling stuff in the lots and stuff. So just hit me up. And
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a guy that I
Okay.
might be
I think
interested.
Pierce put something up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hit up Pierce, man. If you're not friends with him, I'll
am.
send him to you.
We are. And here's why I know that I'm friends with him, because I see his name every once in a while, and it reminds me of a joke. And Pierce, it's a guy, and he goes, I have a friend named Pierce, and I want to get some beers. Hey, Pierce, you want to get beers? You want to get beers, Pierce? And then, so every time I see his name, I think of that joke. And so I seen it pop up today.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
thinking of the joke.
Pierce
You want to
is,
get beers, Pierce?
He's the guy that runs our
runs
network
Probably,
here.
that
he's probably
network.
losing, pulling what little hair he has left right now.
he's
We're going
these
so.
motherfuckers
Oh,
are
then go, let's
54
go.
minutes over. Take
right,
it home.
sorry.
53 minutes ago.
Oh, shit. You're only a 1 hour show? My bad.
Yeah,
nah,
it's all good, bro.
it's all
Listen,
good.
man. We
It's
I feel like
entertaining.
the show was good.
You know what it is when we get rolling. Sometimes we just
We
don't
lose
stop.
track, yeah.
Oh, man. If I would have
but-
known that, I would have shortened my stories. I made them to the
Listen,
Nah,
point.
man, it's good, man.
No, it's
We
all good, my
enjoyed it.
man.
like I said, we'll I'm gonna hit you up. We'll see if we can get you back on in 2 weeks. If you're free on your birthday, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And
I do want to let people know what's going on too. This weekend, I like to promote my boys, what they're doing, and I know that ISPW is running with it's Tommy Fierro. I used to work for him,
God
and then a
damn,
lot of
still
the
running?
boys.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Tommy Fierro's still doing stuff, huh?
Yeah, ISPW just got resurrected, and they're doing some great
Good,
shows.
man.
Check them out. Go check them out on Facebook, ISPW, and they have on 429. They are in the Great Meadows Mayhem in New Jersey at the Great Meadows Middle School, and then the 30th they're at the Sussex County Fairgrounds in Augusta, New Jersey.
Who's working it?
They need to
They
book
got-
Stockade.
they got
That's what
Crowbar.
They need to do.
Oh shit, Devin.
They got Alpha Jr.,
Oh,
Justin
shit.
Carino, Bushwhacker Luke versus Sal Sincere.
Damn.
Danny Morrison, which is Danny Doring versus Crowbar. Tito Santana's going to be there.
Tito.
Sean Donovan versus Bull James. The Now
Oh, shit,
versus
okay.
the Winners Club versus Leo Sparrow and GKM. I don't know.
Now, will you be at
GKM
this
is.
show, or are you just plugging them?
I'm promoting my boys.
Oh,
If anybody else, any of my friends ever have shows you want me to promote, tell me to promote your shit.
yeah, exactly, pops. We'll get them back
We'll get
on.
him back on.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, we'll and I'm gonna hit you up. And
I got
if you're free,
funny
buddy.
WWE stories too. So
Ooh,
Okay,
I like
yeah.
it.
Okay,
We'll get
so
you
we'll
back.
definitely go into that.
All right, man.
We'll
Thank you,
continue
guys.
on with Nick Berk. Hopefully in
Absolutely.
2 weeks, maybe in 3 if you're not available on your birthday. All right.
All right. You
Sounds
got
good.
it.
Appreciate it,
You
man.
got
Thank you.
Everybody,
All
thank
right.
you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all catch Killing the Business this Friday. I think this is the last Friday that they're gonna be on. With King Mega, Kingpin
What
Angel.
do you mean the last Friday?
They're going on Thursdays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going forward.
It's a good thing they're not tomorrow because the Sixers get to win tomorrow. Sixers.
Yeah, I know you're a big Sixers guy, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, so besides that, guys, make sure y'all check us out on Instagram, YouTube. Check out, get the sleeves, get the health vape, and we'll see
Use
y'all
our
next
promo
week.
code MWA Pod for your 10%
MWA Pod.
discount.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all next week, Wednesday, 8:00. Y'all do your things. Be safe.
Later, guys.
Nick, thank you.
Peace.